Hi guys, it's Jenny, and if you've been traveling all day or sitting all day and you've got some time, let's get your body moving and grooving. We're going to start off with a big stretch. So stand up, stretch your arms up, out, loads of space. The body takes a big deep breath. Maybe twist to the side, twist to the other side. Just make yourself as big as possible. And then come down and start having a wiggle in your arms, wiggle in your hips, wiggle in your knees. Just get yourself moving. Give a little hop if you like, because we've been still for so long. We want to get our bodies ready for a little bit of movement. Now we're going to start with some circles, slightly more structured, so you can follow me now. We're going to tip the head to the right and then slowly make big circles to the left. Around the back and to the right, down and to the left. Loads of range of motion. So today we're going to be not using any equipment, switch directions. So if you're in a hotel room or you're staying somewhere, you don't have your usual stuff, then you can still do this one, and it doesn't require much space either. So even if it's one of, you're just sort of doing it in the gap between your bed and your wall, you should be able to get this one done. Okay, now we're going to start expanding our rotation. So we're going to still circle. We're going to go back to the first direction, but this time including all of our upper back. So our neck is still rotating, but our shoulders are coming with it. So we're doing like big dramatic circles. Hips are staying where they are for now. We're just trying to move the top half of your spine. Switch directions, rotating the neck, rotating the thoracic, the shoulders. You can be as dramatic about it as you like. So you can round forwards as you go forwards and open up as you go open back. Just depends on how many people can see you, I guess. Okay, now we're going to get even more dramatic. Start moving those hips, moving those torsos. Those torsos? How many do you have? Just one, just your one torso. Start moving. Switch directions. Your arms are going. The back is flexing, extending, laterally stretching. All this good stuff. And now we're going to go whole body circles. Sweeping our arms up to the sky and then down the floor, bending your knees, getting your hips more involved, full body sweeps, and switch direction, sweep into the other side. Sweep around again, as dramatic as you like. You can start really rounding forwards, really extending back. It's totally up to you. How exciting. So then we're going to pop back up, slightly more subdued now again, hands on the hips. We're going to do some hip circles. So we're kind of back to a nice calm movement, less crazy. We're isolating these hip joints. We're just moving our femurs in the socket, getting our pelvis moving around, switch directions. Because probably it's not been getting too much movement today. Good. Now bring your feet about hip width apart. We're going to take our left hand up in the air, grab the left wrist with the right hand and tip over to the right. So we're stretching away from that extended arm and stretching the entire left side. The wider your feet are, the deeper you can probably go, but the closer your feet are, the more you'll feel the stretch a little lower in the hip. So just go wherever feels good for you. One more deep breath in and out. Cool. Switch sides, right arm up, left arm grabs, and then we tip to the left. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Same thing with the feet position, whatever feels good for you. There's no real right or wrong. Coming back up. That felt good. We're going to come down into our deep lunge or low lunge rotation. So we're going to put our left foot forwards, right foot back. If you have a pillow for your back knee, that's awesome. Just helps you get more comfortable in the stretch, which means you can stay a little longer. So you just pop it under your back knee. And in this stretch, we're working on deep hip flexion of the front leg and extension of the back leg. If this is all good, you can stay here, keeping your hands on the floor. Or if you want to take it a little further, you can lift the hands up. Inhale and exhale. Extend back. You can look back, you can look up. Just getting an extra stretch on that back hip, the hip extension, and a little bit on your back as well. Then we're going to exhale and twist. So no matter how low or high you are, try and getting your right hand on the outside of your left knee and taking your left hand just behind you. Doesn't need to do anything in particular. Sitting nice and tall. Exhale, twist. Cool. And then we're going to switch sides. Left knee is now back, right foot is now forwards, and sink into that deep lunge again. So we've got the flexion of the front hip, extension of the back hip, and just have a little wiggle. If you feel good, you can stay here, or you can join me with some arm extension. Exhale, bend backwards just a little, nothing crazy. I mean, it's been a long day. Rotate the wrists if you like, something to do. And then we'll do that twist. Come up a little. Left hand on the outside of the right knee. Right hand can just reach back. Doesn't have to be anywhere in particular. Cool. And then bring yourself so you're on all fours. So both knees together now. Both hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to do some cat-cow. So arching and rounding your back. Moving into whatever space feels good for you. So you can go side to side, trying to get hip to shoulder. You could sort of combine them, so we round up and then go side to side. Or you can extend and go side to side. Or you could just do big circles round and round. We call this disco cat, for obvious reasons. Cool. And then settle the spine. Just going to do a few shoulder circles just to prep us for what's coming next. And shoulder circles backwards. Okay, so I'm going to remove my cushion. We're going to do something to get the body a little fired up. If we've been stationary, we kind of want to not just stretch, but also get our body awake and active and working again so that we feel a little bit more energized. So the moves we're going to use for that is a bear and a crab. We're not going to do anything crazy with these moves, we're just going to go through them. So bear is all fours, and this is bear. Or to make it even better, you can lift the knees off the floor. That immediately activates your core. Then we're going to point our knees to the left, lift the left hand, go over ourselves until we're in crab. So my tummy is now facing the ceiling, and I'm basically in a crab or a tabletop. Boop, you want to push up. Then we point the knees to the right, left hand pops back over, and we're back into our bear. We'll do that the other way. So point the knees to the right, right hand comes over until we are upside down bear, which is a crab, obviously. And then point yourself all the way back to bear. We're going to do that whole thing twice more, a little bit faster. Knees to the left, over to crab, knees to the right, back to bear, knees to the right, over to crab, knees to the left, back to bear, last one, knees under, crab, and over, bear, under, crab, over, bear. How exciting was that? What we're going to do is we're going to hold now in crab. So wherever you ended up, just come back to crab. And we're going to do a few rocks. So you may have found that bear was quite simple, and then crab was a little bit more challenging. We're challenging our shoulder extension here. So our arms are moving backwards. So pop up to crab, we're going to do some rocks. So this is slightly easier. And then this is slightly harder, slightly more of a stretch. Rocking back and forwards, back and forwards. Now we're going to take this even further to do a lovely move that I really like to do after just being a bit stationary, called the thoracic bridge. So we're going to open up all the front of our body, entire anterior chain, or a heart opener as it's called in yoga. So we're going to plant our right hand down, and similar to crab, but this time on one hand, we're going to start to lift our bum off the floor. If that's enough for you and the arm is shaking, then you can stay here, or if it's okay, keep pushing the hips up until we open that chest. And we can just smile at how good this feels. You can also put that hand on a bed or a sofa or a chair or something rather than the floor, and it'll make it slightly easier. And pop back down. We'll try the other side. So my left hand is now down. We lift the bum as if we're doing a crab on one hand, if that's okay. Push the hips up. Awesome. Stretching the front of the body, the pec, the hips, the abs, the shoulder, this free shoulder. Can be wherever you like, wherever feels like you're getting the most stretch. And relaxing. Now we're going to scooch back on over to our bear. And we're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, and go to a downward dog. So now we're stretching the back body. Just stretch the front, now we're stretching the back, the posterior chain, the hamstrings, the glutes a little, all the muscles of your back. Just settle in. If you can get the heels down, awesome. If not, don't worry about it. If you can get the arms and shoulders straight, even better. But if not, nothing bad's going to happen. Now we're going to rock forwards into a plank. So remember what I said about waking up the body? Plank is a great way to do that. Aren't you glad? We're just going to rock forward and backwards, give ourselves something to focus on rather than holding a plank. A couple more rocks. Making sure the bum isn't stuck in the air. And you're also not sagging down. Your nice long body. 3, 2, 1. Bring your knees down and sit back onto your heels for a second. So we're going to now move on to side plank. Will give us a little rest first. I mean, geez, it's not a workout. So we're going to go into plank, then side plank, and we're going to see if we can lift our legs, okay? So, not both of them, whoa. So we're going to go forwards into plank, rock onto your right hand, so we're on the side plank on the right side. Your feet can be stacked if you've got great balance, or staggered if you're still learning the side plank. Here is great to hold. If you're feeling awesome, lift that top leg, your left leg, and immediately becomes a little bit more challenging. Holding that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Left hand down, knees down, sitting back onto the heels. So that should have fired up everything on that right hand side, and that shoulder stability, especially after already doing thoracic bridge, should be really working. Let's go back into a plank. We've got to do the other side. Rolling onto our left hand. Feet can be stacked or staggered. When you're feeling settled and balanced, you can try lifting that top leg and see, can we hold it? You'll also feel a bit of the glutes and the outer hip working. 3, 2, 1, as it's holding up your body weight and your leg. Sit back onto your heels. Awesome. So we're just going to finish with one last downward dog walk up. So pop yourself back into a downward dog. Put one heel down, lifting the other heel up. So I like to call this walking your dog because I'm very silly. Now we're going to actually start walking one step at a time, left foot, then right foot. You start moving towards a forward fold, your feet moving towards your hands, bending the knees, rounding all the way up, stretch up. And we're going to finish with another big stretch, making space, have a wiggle, shuffle your body around, do a few circles, a few wobbles, whatever feels good, whatever we've missed. One more time, stretch up in the air. And we are done. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel much better, more awake, more moving, more loose, and just awesome. Have a great day, guys.